Hello guys, I'm going to do a video to describe your walkthrough form that we will use to do walkthroughs on you. Please take the time to watch this, and then I'll give you a task that you've watched it. So yeah, so this is simple. It's just the teachers that we use. These are the observers. It's pretty much the counselors and Shannon and myself. The date and time, what subject. So keep in mind that that we're looking at where you are in the classroom. So we really want to see you in the power zone, and in the area like up and moving around, or just working and moving around, not necessarily in the lecture position or in your work area. But hopefully we have a variety of observations that could change, but we'd love to see that power zone be the most. So this is your next lesson framing. Remember that lesson frame, lesson targets, I can statements should be posted every lesson and every day. And so it's either observed or not observed. So you have your target posted. Does it align with your standard? Is it congruent? So do they match? Do they discuss it? And then can the students actually articulate it? So those last two might be hard unless you specifically ask students. And then on the teacher discussing one, we may just not be there when you discuss it, and that's okay, but just keep in mind that that is best practice. We also will recognize academic and behavior positive. So keep in mind that positive feedback, a 4-to-1 is an appropriate ratio, but in our setting 14-to-1 is 14 positive compared to 1 negative. So if you give 1 negative, you have to have 14 positives for our kiddos. So just remember that reinforcing and recognizing positive academic and behavior is very, very crucial. So we want to celebrate what they're doing right. And then we just put a little note down of what we see. Now, high yield instructional and cultural responsive strategies are listed here. And so remember, when you have the effect size of 0.4 or greater, anything below is like the student will improve based off just being in school. But if you go higher, so if you look at 0.5 for cooperative learning, so you are going to grow kids exponentially on that. And especially scaffolding, classroom discussion protocols, and effective feedback. Those are all things that we're going to be working on with you guys throughout the year, and what that looks like. And there's a link up here that gives you specific feedback, or what that looks like in the classroom. And so we will look at that and what we see on how you're using that, or that you haven't, and that's okay. But we want to make sure that we see that. That's why we're going to have more. You have more than like one observation, and you'll have one a week. So, all right. So level of rigor. So, the lowest level is remembering. So maybe some like notes, watching, listening to video. Remember, videos should be really relevant to a content and not the whole class. And then we move on up to applying, analyzing, evaluating, and creating. And so we want to make sure we see a variety. We understand that level 1 is necessary at times, but we should be seeing higher level of rigor. Again, what are students doing? Do they have work? Do they understand what they're learning? And are they using that? And so just a little bit, just a description of what is happening in there. And then we look at our racial equity. And so, is there diversity in your curriculum? Are your educational practices equitable? Are you using assessment, especially if you're looking at our tool? So usually assessment has a variety of opportunities for students to show their learning, and they have choice. So if you see that, and then again, if there's not any. So any also reference to our tool connections. There's a link on there as well for the observer to review when they're doing that. And then usually an overall notice and wonder. So maybe a celebration here, or maybe an opportunity for someone to ask a question to you. That's all I have for you. Thanks.